Hello everybody, I'm Krasi and I'll be talking about the next 2 weeks to come after the appearance of the first lunar crescent, which is taking place this evening today on the 11th of July. So we had the 3 days invisibility of the moon. The moon was invisible, was hidden in the rays of the sun. And today, this evening, 11th of July, we will be able, after the sun sets, to see the first lunar crescent in Cancer, in the vicinity of the Cancer nebula. This is one place on the stomach of the Cancer, the celestial Cancer, which is like a cluster of millions of stars which form something like a cloud, and it is called nebula. These are stormy degrees. This is promising a bit stormy, symbolically spoken, month, and also a stormy in terms of our emotions, because the moon is very strong, very powerful in Cancer. This is her own place of rulership, but also the first appearance of the moon, the beginning of every cycle, is showing how the whole cycle will look like. So will be appearance of the moon in Cancer. The moon appears in Cancer in the nebula, but not only. In Cancer, the moon will be conjoined Venus and Mars, who is already invisible. And you know, I had another video about Mars, how a bit complex his nature is when fallen in Cancer and also when invisible. Also, the moon appears for the first time with opposition of Saturn. This is a bit of a limiting factor, and not only that, but the moon is forming applying aspect to Saturn. Applying aspect to Saturn means that the moon is showing us that the main nature of the month will be, the next 2 weeks will be Saturnine. What is Saturn? He's the Lord of time, and he is now retrograde, so we need to be patient because he really has time. And also the moon, the moon applying to Saturn in opposition is showing us certain limitations. Limitations of Saturn, who is in Capricorn. In Capricorn, he is representing rulership, governments, imposed limits, imposed regulations, and all in this direction. Also because Saturn is making opposition to Venus and Mars too. This is showing eventually that we cannot expect real growth on the markets, and financially the month will also not be superb. Now, of course, moon in Cancer, in nebula, what we have there, the most psychological, if you want philosophical, if you want deep, intuitive place. So this is what we will gain in the end from this whole situation that we are expecting to develop. We will be able to enhance our intuition, to reach maybe information which we want to achieve, to know. And also what is very, very, very important and very beautiful event is that in this very moment, Mercury becomes visible for the first time. So on the 11th, when we have the first lunar crescent of the moon on this very moment, for the biggest part of the world, not for absolutely every country, Mercury becomes visible as a morning star, which means that we will see him before the sun rises early in the morning, in Gemini, in his own term, and also he is creating harmonious aspect to Jupiter. And Mercury and Jupiter have beautiful relationship because mythologically they're father and a son, and they form something very successful, something very good. So where will be successful? Probably financially, the month is not superb. It is not bad either, with Mercury in Gemini trined by Jupiter. But we will be very successful when it comes to information, when it comes to communication, maybe commerce too, but it is a lot about knowledge. It is a lot about true knowledge, communication, yes. So also Yes, I explained you about it. The sun is still in very powerful position in the place where the sun is having its highest and very powerful influences. And this is the Gemini. This is the sign which is related to uh, it works as exaltation of the sun. You imagine why? It is because this is where we have the summer solstice. So therefore, and as we speak, for another 5 days, the sun will be passing through the degrees of Castor and Pollux, the two great twins, the two Gemini brothers, which is a lot about knowledge, but then also he will reach Pollux, which will be a lot about warrior-like behavior. So this month, if you want, or maybe these next 2 weeks up until the next full moon, we will be having very emotional, maybe to extremes behaviors of people, volatile markets and limitations, certain limitations related to eventually, especially people who would have, let's say, Cancer rising or Cancer moon or Cancer midheaven may also have high expenditures. But on the other hand, we will be having something very good, which will be access to knowledge, access to true knowledge and information. And also when we learn, when we study, when we share our knowledge, we will be rewarded with this great trine. And the first heliacal phase rise, the new birth of Mercury in Gemini in his own terms. So this is really very good. So I will be telling you now what to expect day by day, so that you can probably make use of this for the next 15 days for sure. So what is happening? We're starting with the first lunar day, which will be felt from this evening until tomorrow, which will be a Monday, 12th of July, first lunar day. And this first lunar day will be heavily influenced by what I told you. It will be ruled by the moon, and the moon in Cancer, very emotional, very motherly, very nature-like, very good to take care of the nature, very good to help somebody, very good to, to enhance your intuition, to do spiritual work. Yeah, the moon is in this very sensitive position with Venus and Mars and opposed by Saturn. So I cannot recommend a new initiatives, just cannot, because Saturn is serious limitation, especially when you expect financial outcome. Of course, Saturn is not helpful, but you can welcome the sun, and then you can imagine that you're having the aura of a very light green, and you know the moon is ruling the day. And then you can wear Larimar or Pearl, and you imagine this aura around yourselves, and you know you're connected with the moon, because the moon actually is supporting any action, whatever you want. There is nothing that no activity on earth that is happening without the influence of the moon. So very important is our connection with the moon. Improving connection with the moon improves connection with mother, with a family, with your enhances your intuition, health as well. So the connection with the moon is very, very important. On this day, also, if you travel, be sure to, I wouldn't even travel on this day. Medical interventions when the moon is in Cancer with this aspect, I wouldn't recommend either. So it is mainly for knowledge, empathic action, helping others, visiting temples. If you travel, be very careful. This is about this day. And then let's look at Tuesday, 13th of July, second lunar day. Again, very strong lunar day, but the moon is void of course. The moon has no course. Such moon is not supporting any action, as you know. So you may do things. The moon is not so much influenced now by Saturn. You can even travel the moon, but the moon is not forming future aspect, which would say any action is like we can maintain the routine work. We can do a lot of spiritual work. But any important action like a new business or negotiations or travel travel, okay, it is not, I don't think this is dangerous, but important surgery wouldn't be appropriate on this day. But Tuesday is ruled by Mars. Welcome the sun. You can wear red, let's say. You can imagine red. Or let's say that I feel that you're a little bit deprived from energy, like you're lacking energy, you feel weak. You can wear a red. You can imagine a red aura around yourselves, and you can wear red coral. Would be very good. And now let's look at the next day, which will be Wednesday, 14th of July, third lunar day. The moon is in very benevolent position, very intuitive, receives harmonious aspects from Mercury. And the moon is in degrees very astrological in Leo. On this day, you can travel, you can do actually a lot. And if the day is benevolent, you can even, some types of businesses, I believe you can also launch. What types of businesses? Let's say you want to do a new project, or you want to negotiate and you need to apply courage. Then you can do this because the moon is in powerful, courageous degrees. You can teach us, you can travel. Medical interventions, some you can do. Some medical interventions you can also do. The moon is in not afflicted and is in quite benevolent position, even good position. But yes, this is Wednesday. What we do on Wednesday, the day is ruled by Mercury. If you welcome the sun, oftentimes people write me, what is this to welcome the sun? You look approximately at the time of the sunrise, then you just face east, you say prayer of your choice. This is intuitive, very personal process. And you also imagine after that the planet which is ruling the day, you kind of praise it. And this you can do by knowing it's Mercury, it is Hermes, the Lord of knowledge and communication. And you then imagine around yourselves yellow or green aura. You can wear emerald colors of the day and such stone. And then let's look at the 15th of July, which is Thursday, the fourth lunar day. The fourth lunar day is considered to be the most powerful. On that day, the ancients would crown the king. The moon is conjunct powerful astrological star in Leo. Day for this, if you want to study astrology and to get very good results, do your best on Thursday. The moon applies to the sun, very appropriate if you want really to have courage to complete something or to start something, a project which needs your courage, which needs action. Then you may have good result. Also, on this day, it is Thursday, Jupiter is ruling the day. Let's say you're welcoming the sun, you imagine the solar rays and yellow or orange aura, and you wear yellow sapphire or you wear citrine. This would be beautiful, very appropriate. You can travel on this day, you can study, you can also, like I said, help others, state your opinion, state your position. It's a day of courage. Help, let's say you have melancholy, then you can also help yourself by supporting this emotional state of yours with prayers and certain action, because the moon is in such degrees which are very good for fighting melancholy, let's say. And yes, you can travel on this day, you can do actually a lot. And now let's see medical interventions. I said of some of them, some you can do. And we have 16th of July, this is Friday, day of Venus. The moon is actually even in a section ruled by Venus, quite benevolent. It's a day of Venus. What we can do is medical interventions. Yes, just avoid if they're, let's say, digestive system oriented, but medical interventions we can do. We can even travel. Also, we can do some agriculture work, of course. Also, on this day, we can negotiate, we can travel. Because it is Friday, we can welcome the sun, and then we face east, and we imagine the aura to be white or pink. We can wear pink quartz, we can wear diamond on this day. So it is sweet scent of rose, let's say, such color of your clothes. Look at Venus as an evening star. This will help you very much to feel happier, to feel joyful, to have this beautiful connection with Venus. So this is one thing. What else you can do on this day? Well, for maintaining routine business, it is very good. Negotiations with this powerful Mercury as well could be very good. And then we have Saturday, 17th of July, 6th lunar day. The moon is approaching degrees, which actually are very spiritual, very powerful, very good in terms of communication, commerce. This is what you can do. Business-wise, these degrees are very good, very supportive to negotiate, to travel. Medical interventions, avoid digestive system operations. But other than that, some medical interventions you can do. There is no bad affliction of the moon, not at all. It is day of Saturn. It's important when we welcome the sun to imagine this amethyst or dark blue aura. Wear amethyst, wear dark blue sapphire. This would be very good. Very interesting day to study, to teach others, to share your knowledge with others, to research. You will be really delighted with the result. And then we have Saturday, 18th of July, 7th lunar day, always critical. Powerful degrees if you want to structure our knowledge, if you want to structure our activities, to structure our, let's say, administration, or to structure anything that we do. This is because the such are the degrees where the moon is. Also, on this day, we can travel, negotiate, just avoid surgeries which would be involving kidneys, let's say. But this day can be very appropriate for maintaining and reaching balance. And this is what we can ask from the universe on that day. Also, because it is Sunday, you welcome the sun, and then the sun is the ruler. You imagine that you're receiving, you can expose your spine, get the solar rays, and imagine that you're receiving really health and energy. And imagine orange, yellow, red colors around yourselves. And also you can wear ruby. And we have now a 19th of July, which is Monday. The moon is in the very powerful positions, which whatever we do, we somehow can reach good results and become even visible. This is where the moon is in the constellation of Libra. And actually, these are very benevolent degrees, but still Saturn is creating here a negative aspect. So we need to be careful. So the day would be very good to, again, to structure our knowledge, to do work which would require design, creativity, exact knowledge. For this will be very good, will be rewarded. So very structured work, finalizing things. It doesn't matter that the moon is waxing, still Saturn is having this very structuring role, if you want, and he will help us to organize ourselves very well. Also, because it is a Monday, we can welcome the moon and do the usual thing, welcome the sun, imagine light green around ourselves. We can wear aquamarine or pearls, would be very beautiful. And we should know the moon is ruling, the lunar god, who is behind any action, who can support our activities, businesses, health. This is what we can maintain and ask on this day. The day can be also good for, again, for reaching balance, health balance. Yes. Also, with our work and projects. With this can be very helpful. Medical interventions I mentioned. There is affliction, so I would avoid now. There is affliction. Also, when we travel, we need to be careful on that day. And then we have 20th of July, which is Tuesday. The moon is in very knowledgeable but not very lucky degrees in Scorpio. No surgical interventions, not travel. It's better that we to be indeed careful. Also, on this day, what is appropriate to do? Well, natural science, research, deep research of the occult, esoteric knowledge, help others. We can be very psychological, very knowledgeable on this day. This is how I see it. And also we can be very useful to ourselves in terms of receiving knowledge which is related to healing, medications, herbalism, holistic medication. This is very interesting. We can enhance our intuition, but surgical interventions or even to travel, we may need to be a bit careful. There is an aspect which is not very benevolent. This is about Tuesday, and also it's the day of Mars, you see. So we welcome the sun, we imagine around ourselves a red aura, red light, or red clothes we can have, or we can wear a ruby on this day. But just be careful on that day. And then we have Wednesday, 21st of July, which is the 10th lunar day. The moon is in the very powerful position of conjoin the star Antares. Actually, we can be very, well, on this day, we can do a lot for ourselves because these are lucky degrees. How to benefit? Well, again, doing benevolent actions like empathy, helping others, and also research and study a lot. This could be very, very helpful and very, very rewarding. I wouldn't, there is an affliction, so I wouldn't travel on this day. You may need to be cautious, but to help others, to heal people, to enhance our healing knowledge and qualities would be beautiful. To plant, to connect with nature is also beautiful. Not to travel and to avoid medical interventions. And because the day is Wednesday, a day of knowledge, or Mercury, you welcome the sun, you imagine around yourselves a light green or yellow, and you can wear emerald stone and emerald colors. And then we have 22nd of July, which is Thursday, a beautiful day. A moon applies to Venus on this day. I'll be making the Venus talismans, beautiful degrees. Venus entered her beautiful place of Venus with the lion, because you know she's depicted on most of the ancient cuneiform tablets on the lion, with the lion. So in Leo, Venus feels brilliantly well. She will be conjoined Regulus, the star in the heart of the lion, and the moon will be applying to Venus. This is exactly perfect to make Venus talismans. You can see them all on my website. What else to tell you? Just a beautiful day. It is Thursday. You welcome the sun. You imagine the aura of course, you say your prayer, then you imagine yellow-orange aura, and you know Jupiter is ruling the day. You can wear citrine or yellow sapphire. So this is indeed a very good day. And then what else you can do? Medical interventions, you may, there is no affliction. The day is really very good. You can travel, you can negotiate. And then we have 23rd of July, which is Friday, day of Venus. First, you welcome the sun. You imagine, you know, Venus is ruling the day. Also, don't forget to look in the evening to see Venus as an evening star. And you imagine pink aura, and then you can wear also pink. A very good day. The moon is in powerful degrees, very spiritual. This is the nebula of Sagittarius. This is white nebula though, not a bad nebula, but it gives what? Philosophy, research, desire to be very empathic, to help others, very philosophical, maybe very religious too. So this is also what we get on this day. And because it's Friday, keep in mind Venus luckily is ruling the day, which is beautiful. Medical interventions you can do, you can travel, you can do a lot on this day. Very good for the business as well. And then we have already the 24th is the full moon day, and after for the full moon day I'll be making another video. So have great 2 weeks. Keep in mind that if you feel very emotional or you feel a bit unstable, note that this month is starting with moon in Cancer, opposed by Saturn, being with Mars, who is invisible. So this can lead to extreme emotions, and therefore when we know it, we can also help ourselves by being very spiritual, being very connected with the sky. So be happy and see you soon.